Hello, my name is Alexandria Wassell Heather, and today I wanted to talk about the Arizona State Constitution and the two important components, which are the initiative and referendum, along with the pros, cons, the similarities, and the differences between the two. The Arizona State Constitution has two important components that allows the people to maintain power over their officials and representatives who compose their government and to create and control the laws that govern their state. The first component is the initiative. The initiative is the process that voters in Arizona can go through to propose a new law or amend an existing law. There are two types of initiatives. The first one is the statutory amendment, where a change is made to an existing amendment. The second one is the constitutional amendment, which is when a new law is added to the Constitution. To create an initiative, a person or organization must gather 15% of the registered voters' signatures to be placed the proposed statutory or constitutional amendment on the ballot. At least 4 months before the next general election, these signatures must be validated by the Arizona Secretary of State's office. In the next general election, voters mark yes if they accept the new or amended version of the law, and no if they do not want the new law or do not want the previous law to be amended. The second component is the referendum. This is the process voters can go through to veto a law or part of a law. For a person or organization to get a referendum on the ballot, they must first designate a committee to act as a sponsor for the referendum, or they must file a statement of organization using the Arizona Secretary of State's campaign finance filing system. The next step is to complete an application for a serial number for the referendum. Once a referendum has been assigned a serial number, the people must gather at least 5% of the number of votes cast at the last governor election. The deadline for collecting the signatures is 90 days after the legislative session adjourns in which the measure is passed. If enough valid signatures are collected, the measure will be placed on the next general election ballot. A yes vote means the law will go into effect, and a no vote means they will not. The similarities of the two components are that they require the person or organization to collect signatures for the initiative or referendum to be placed on the next ballot. They give the voters the power to decide the laws for their state, and they allow the citizens the opportunity to participate in the legislative process. The main differences between initiative and a referendum is an initiative is a proposal for a new law or changes to be made to an existing law, and a referendum is how voters can approve or reject a law passed by the legislator. The process of getting them on the ballot is very similar, in that signatures need to be collected and submitted, but the number of signatures required and the deadlines for submission vary. Initiatives and referendums have both pros and cons to them. The pros are they encourage participation of the citizens in creating and maintaining their laws and policies, and they provide checks and balances on the legislator to keep them from passing laws not wanted by the people. The cons of them include citizens making uninformed decisions due to lack of knowledge, being influenced by those with money, along with not understanding the potential long-term ramifications of their vote. It is important that voters carefully read each initiative or referendum to understand them. The idea of direct democracy is supported by initiatives and referendums in the Arizona Constitution because they allow the citizens to influence decisions about laws and what is important to them, instead of relying on their representatives to decide for them. Initiatives and referendums give the people power to create, to change, and to reject the laws in their state. This keeps the legislative power in check because the people have a say in what laws can be made, and the people can overrule the decisions made by the legislator. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you learn more about the two components, which are initiative and referendum in the Arizona state. I hope you also learn more about the pros, the cons, the similarities, along with the differences between the two. If you have questions or you would like to learn more about the two components, being initiative and referendum in Arizona state, please look at the reference page. page following this video. It will provide you with resources where you can learn more about both areas. Thank you again so much for watching.